Alright, so in this video I'm going to show you how to do a little bit of troubleshooting on your syntax, how to look and see if you've coded scales correctly, and then also how to do some beginning exploratory analyses. So the first thing you'll often want to do is you want to run your syntax and see all these fun little error things that come up, and that'll show you what parts of the syntax might be wrong. I think sometimes it's easiest to just first start by opening the file, and then go ahead and select everything, all of your syntax, and you can either do Control Shift A, or you can do Control Shift End, and it'll take wherever you are and go to the end. Then go ahead and click Run. And then you'll see all of these different cool little error things which come up. And it'll tell you what line it's on. So like there's something here on the recode line that it does not like. So what you would need to do is kind of go to all of these different things and see, okay, what's going on with this recode? Maybe we can find it in the output somewhere. It says error in column 1. Let's see, where is this problem? Oh boy, it's all here. So you need to actually look through these lines. Let's go ahead and delete this and start from scratch so we can have an easier time finding it. Okay, we'll go to our output and we'll look for the first error thing. It should come up here. Error text Q130. On the recode command, the list of variables includes the name of a non-existent variable. So somewhere, so this Q, where was that? This one of these has a variable which does not, oh sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. One of these has a variables which does not exist, and it looks like it's this Q130. So you're going to have to look above this to see, did I do something with Q130? It looks like we renamed it to COVID diagnosis, so that no longer exists. So we would just take this COVID diagnosis and put it in there. Let's see if that works now. We'll just run this. And that got rid of the error. So what you do is you just go ahead and run everything and kind of systematically go through the errors and see what the issues are. So let's see if look another error. Something here with the value labels. Looks like there should be a period here. That wasn't there. That might have fixed it. If we go, let's take a look here. Other errors. Looks like there's something here. Compute. Yep, there's just not a period there. So there's a execute, which is highlighted red. So it looks like we fixed that error. So you can kind of go through systematically, find these errors. Super exciting stuff, I know. Okay, so let's take a look though at how we might be able to sort of see if we calculated scores correctly. Looks like this is a problem. This is now supposed to be that. No, is that supposed to be correct? Anyway, this is what I think it was originally supposed to be. Let's take a look at like a scale, for instance. You see you recoded all these NPIs. They should all be coded in the correct direction now. And let's go ahead and see if this is correct. So one of the ways you can see if something's coded in the correct direction is you go down to scale and you do what we call a reliability analysis. This is going to give you basically like that Cronbach's alpha, which is a statistic which says how reliable your scale is. How much do all the items kind of correlate with one another? So let's go ahead and right click so we can see what the different scale names are. So we've got something like barriers. We can see if people tended to look at all the barriers in similar ways. So you put them all in the items area, and the way I did this is I select one, you press shift, and then select the furthest one. That kind of highlights them all. You go to statistics. I like scale if item deleted. You can look at inner item correlations. That's kind of cool. You probably don't need any of this stuff for what you're doing. And then just press OK. You don't need to throw this in your syntax. And let's see what we got. So it looks like our reliability still statistics for the barriers scale that we had here is pretty good. If it's over 0.7, it's pretty good. You know, when you're getting to like 0.9 and that sort of thing, it's looking really good. And then what I would do is look at this kind of correlation matrix. These are just correlations. They will range from -1 to +1. And you want things to be positively correlated with each other. If they're not, that's a sign that you may have coded something incorrectly. Looks like there's one item which doesn't really correlate super well. This is please select neither agree nor disagree for this question. This looked like it was our sort of attention check item. So what we might want to do is you may want to go back and rename this attention check item. So that you're not accidentally putting it in the scale. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take that one out and rerun it. We don't want 5 in here because this looks like it's a attention check item. When we run it, the reliability is better. The Chromebox alpha is higher. And it looks like all the correlations are positive with one another. So that's a good thing. So this is how you do what we call like a reliability analysis. And that's one way you can see if the items in your scale are coded correctly. And that will mean that's really important to do for some of the exploratory analysis, which I'll now show you how to do. So let's first start with a clean output, because that's always a nice way to start. You go to Analyze, and you can create a correlation matrix. And so you go to Correlate, and then Bivariate. And then you get to select all the variables that you want to put in. So I don't recommend selecting individual items unless there's something really specific you were looking at in one of those items. So something like number of masks, hours in public. Let's see, there's something called COVID diagnosis. I don't remember exactly what that one was. But you know, if it's like an individual item, which makes sense, but if it's part of a scale, don't put the scale in there. And also, if it's like has multiple categories, don't put that in there. If it's just like 2 categories, that's fine. But if there's more than 2, don't put that in there. And it looks like we don't have, this data set does not yet have a lot of what we would call composite scores, which are like when you total up or calculate the mean of all the NPI, which is the Narcissistic Personality Inventory, or the Hypersensitive Narcissism Scale. Though that data set doesn't have that yet, looks like we have that for political entitlement, but we'll just put all 4 of these in here. So if we press OK, you don't really need to look at options. There's nothing that important there. Just press OK, and you get this nice correlation matrix. And so what I would recommend doing, once you get a big old matrix like this, is to right click and then copy as an Excel worksheet. Now if you have something small like this, it's not as important. But if you have something really big, it's really helpful to put it in Excel, and I'll show you why. It'll help you to scroll through it easier to sort of see what things are related to one another. So you copy it just like that. Oh, that's way too big. We'll make it fit in the screen here. And then go ahead and click on this top row. Just go ahead and delete it. We don't want that. And then what we're going to go is we're going to go to View, and we're going to freeze panes and freeze the top row. What that will allow you to do is to scroll. Come on, baby. That will allow you to scroll down, and then that top row stays right where it is, so you can kind of see what things are correlating with one another. And you're looking for patterns and sort of interesting things that are going on. So we see a correlation coefficient here, which is correlated. So it looks like how many hours you're out in public is correlated with are you currently or have previously been diagnosed with COVID. Go figure. We would kind of expect that, right? People who are out more tend to be more likely to have been diagnosed. It's nice to see. Reality check. This is just the same thing, but below the diamond, so you don't need to look at that. So there's one correlation in our whole little correlation matrix which is significant. Of course, we haven't put other variables in there, but now you can sort of see one of the ways to begin exploring the data.